Today we learn of the Shangu, the Babylonian sacrificer, which is one of the 5 titles used by the priesthood of Babylon. In Sanskrit, Shangu or Shamgu. Any various evergreen plant of parasitic mistletoe. And of course, this is the root for the kiss under the mistletoe. Shamgu meaning a doubt, a suspicion, hesitating or feeling hesitant, from uncertainty, lack of confidence, hesitation, an anxious feeling, fear, apprehension. To kiss under the mistletoe, under the parasitic tree of love and fertility. This would be the product of the Shangu. Ni, melum, fear, the food of the gods. The letter Z became an S, which became Sh. You won't believe who it belongs to. Like Superman, this river of hope refers to the river god of the Sumerian heaven, the underworld. It belongs to Zu and Shamash, as Sin and Sham are cognate. Sham can mean renown, i.e. the men of renown, or devoted to God's destruction. I think you'll agree that would be cognate with Sin, and of course it is. Sin, Zu, Zu, alternatively Shin. This is where many make a great mistake. Zu, knowledge, wisdom, to teach. The ignorance comes from overlooking the other meanings. Obsidian, blade, or tooth. And in Hebrew, Shin, Sin, means tooth. Hence the symbol W, which represent the teeth of Lord Zu, the moon god of the wolf. Shin, Sin, Sham literally mean tooth. It is the 21st Hebrew letter, relating to Uzna or Debara, fire, and transformation. Very similar to the 3 tribes of fallen angels, the shape of Shin has 3 branches of flame, and flame in Hebrew means demonic agency. These are the 3 pillars of the tree of life, reaching like high flames, purifying and changing the condition of our lives. The S transliterated as Shin, or Sin, or Sheen. When you sheen, you shine, like a reflective surface. Zu, meaning mirror. And of course, the Anunnaki. Their names change, but their number 7 does not. The gods once demons, once monsters. Shin, tooth, is the 21st letter. This, of course, gave rise to the Greek sigma, which in turn gave us the S and the acrylic C. So the teeth become the trident. The god of the waters and his 3 demonic agencies. The letter S plus An, meaning star, sky, heaven, the god An, eagle. Gu is a wee bit tricky. Gu is cognate with Zu. Both can mean voice. The S belongs to Lord Zu, the weapon of the gods, their oracle and messenger. An identifies him as the god of the Sumerian heaven, the underworld. And, as mentioned, Gu can mean voice, but the voice for what? Gu, neck, nape, riverbank, side, other side, edge, front, land, pulse, chickpea, gun. To load something with talent. I don't know, possibly with wisdom. Gu, cognate with good, imdu good. Good, bull, ox, or carp, the sound of a bull, or the grunting and panting of battle. And a particular group of people are going to slay the bull of heaven, the red heifer. Gu, cognate with ku, noise, sound, voice. To exclaim, to utter a cry, said of an animal. There will be throat, cries, and screams. In the ancient Greek culture, the people did not eat meat, apart from on special occasions, for example, a festival. But if you consume the food offerings to the gods, you are cursed. So what is the Greek culture doing to its people? Gu, ku, food, sustenance, fodder, angle, to eat, swallow, consume, use, to eat up, finish off, to feed, nurse, benefit. I can say this is not looking good, not at all, because Gu is cognate with sin, to finish off, swallow, consume. This, my dear friends, is the beast, the god of the gods once demons. Lest you forget, the official term refers to a sacrificer. You may think this is Pazuzu, and you would be correct, but it is also Humbaba, the precursor to Pazuzu, the precursor to Phobos, fear personified, the predecessors of Medusa. And how is she defeated? With a mirror, by a shield, with a sheen, which of course petrifies her. S, tooth, An, god, Gu, sacrifice. Together meaning the sacrifices for Lord Zu. Apparently there is no connection to Hebrew and Sumerian, but there clearly is. We now understand the meaning of Shangu, the sacrificer for Lord Zu, the teeth of sacrifice, in both Sumerian and Hebrew. At the head of this priestly organization was the Shangu Makhkhu. Hence, we now learn of the Makhkhu, the soothsayer, their seer and prophet. In Sanskrit, the language related to Makhkhu informs us of all we need to know, confirmed by the Sumerian Makhkhu. Makhai, one who depreciates another's worth. It's worth noting that I, as a person from Sunderland, am known as a Makkum, meaning humorous and derogatory. We were the shipbuilders during World War II. We Makkum ye Takum. Translation: we make them, you take them. And the Hebrew text was transcribed here in Sunderland by Saint Bede, of course after a great plague. These are the footprints of the Anunnaki Empire: war, plague, and death. Similar to swatting a fly, so to speak. Shangu Makhkhu, the Lord of the Flies. A fly, Mara, cognate with evil Merodach. A fly killer, fly killing, idle, slothful, to connive at a wrong, to deliberately perpetuate a wrong, to reject somebody outright. A fly killer, fly paper. Now here we have it, to imitate blindly. For example, Libra, the claws of the scorpion. Or maybe Zuben al-Akrabi, Argo Navis, the new stinger of Scorpio, where we see the ship, the ark, built for the gods. Argo Navis is fixed in the heavens, one could say idle, and the priesthood who did this would be imitating blindly, and they are foolishly letter-bound. Marana, to idle away time, to sit idly. In Sunderland, UK, we'd say this fucker is a wrong'un. Translation: this person is a bad man. In Sumerian, Lu, Dib or Dab. Treachery, lies, deceit. A traitor equal to Judas. To perpetuate a lie. To be foolishly letter-bound. To be idle. Being idle is known as the devil's playground, is it not? For example, worshipping idolatry. And one is idle if you just accept what you are told. I ask you, is it not lazy to worship rather than act? In Sunderland, we'd say this fucker is a wrong'un. There are no airs and graces when it comes to speaking the truth in the north. Even the term airs and graces, they relate to Enlil and Enki. Enlil is Lord Wind, god of the air, and Enki is Owans, the root for John, meaning grace. And John is the preferred name of the demon of Davos. Reuben Zal, make of that what you will. Anywho, maku in Sumerian, ma, to bind an oath, to be letter bound. Ma, ga, to go, Akkadian, alaku, separating oneself from others. Zu is Anunnaki, yet not Anunnaki, but please don't be fooled. The word Anunnaki belongs to Lord Zu. It is derived from di nana, and aki ki is plural. And the best way to separate oneself from others would be to have children, meaning creating a new generation of gods to defeat the old. But of course, this can also refer to being swallowed by sin, both metaphorically and literally. It can also refer to separating the soul. Ka would be the soul. The cuneiform Ka sign is a syllabic for Ka and a alphabetic sign used for K or A, mentioned in the Epic of Gilgamesh, who would be the grandson of Sin, Lord Zu. In the text there are many mentions of Ka, 372, and the Sumeriograms are Dug, Ka, and Zu. Zu, alphabetically, could be used for the letters Z, S, Sh, or U. as in the Ud-Dug, or An-U, alternatively An-Zu. Just wait, I also align him with Abzu. In Sumerian, Ka means mouth, or gate. Zu is the oracle of the gate, and Sin, hence Zu, means to swallow, and in relation to being letter-bound. In the case of Orcus and Marduk, it would be the site of punishment, the realm of the Ud-Dug, who dwell within their master, lord, and master meaning enemy. This Ka, aligned with Zu, aligned with Dug, aligned with you, Ud-Dug, Dug, Du, similar to the oracle, Dug, Du, speech, to speak, to order, command, to sing, to speak with, converse with, the oracle, Lord Zu. Udug cognate with Ka, the mouth of the gate. Enki replaced Lord Zu and is the author of the lamentation rite. And Enki, replacing Lord Zu, is light, bright, shining. Treachery, lies, and deceit. Zu or Ka, tooth, teeth, prong, thorn, blade, ivory, flint, shirt, obsidian, and the original surgical tool. This is the origin of the Caduceus. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Sumeriogram Zu is used to spell the name of the god Ninazu, he who knows water, a name of the god Dumuzi, aka Tammuz, and in the epic, Zu is also used as the logogram, Zu-Ab. You twats. This Zu-Ab for the Akkadian language Apsu, meaning abyss, the great void, and this would be how you separate one from one's person. It refers to the soul. Of course, it's mentioned in a flood myth, and similar to Makum, we make the ships. Mak can mean to make. Here it is related to making a servant of yours. No, not yours, it. Servants for it. Similar to Shem Wadu Maku, servant of the moon god, Lord Zu. Making a servant together with to bind and to go. Shangu Makhkhu, the servants of sacrifice, to bind them to Lord Zu. Shamwadu Makhkhu, or Ardu, is no different. This Ka, this Zu, this Ku, is related to Lord Zu. In Egypt, the birdman takes the soul, we are told. Egyptian Ku, a part of the soul or spirit which left the body after death, but related to the stomach of an animal. In Egypt, this would be Amet, the eater of souls. In cuneiform, Ku is a beautiful white bird. And ka-ka-ka, here comes the Pyramanda, to hoot, which backwards is tooth. And they are both the god of wisdom, who both replace the lion. Sumerian Abzu, Egyptian Shesmu, the cannibal god, who became the god of immortality, who created the gods so that he can consume them. In cuneiform, Ku signifies a spirit, and the spirit may be a human ghost, or it may be a spirit of light. The shining ones. They are not the spirits of the dead. They are Lu, light, bright, shining, while at the same time treachery, lies, and deceit. God of wisdom, God of trickery, God of immortality, nom 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 nom. It's tricky all right, but I render the word maku, to be bound to Lord Zu. Shangu can mean tooth of sacrifice, or the sacrifice for Lord Zu. But Gu can also mean warrior or nest. For example, the first divinity to be bound to Lord Zu, aka Anzu, aka Lugal Banda, the godfather of Gilgamesh, who rises from death, in which the original dying and rising god, this warrior, found the nest of Lord Zu, who cared for the young of Anzu, which means he is a servant for Lord Zu, a servant sacrificing for Lord Zu, the original Shangu, together with Maku, the nest of the warrior, bound to Lord Zu. The problem is, as I've already mentioned, the Eternals, the so-called Immortals, or those with longevity, are those upon which it feeds. Immortality comes with a hefty price. Similar to the names of Marduk, these 5 names are forming a short paragraph. One could say, the message from the gods. And their message should be, don't play with fire. Do not imitate blindly. Mushelu, the Babylonian necromancer, the dark magician. The demons of Babylon were merged with medical practice, one of the many methods used for their aggressive expansion into all aspects of our daily lives. Mush is the name of a plant, Desmodium elegans, one of the possible cures in the Ayurveda. But we aren't here for medical practices, are we? No, and neither is the necromancer. The medical practice would be true wisdom, and where better to hide darker wisdom than behind the light. Where there is light and dark, we see no dark. The Sanskrit mush, to steal, filch, rob, plunder, carry off. To ravish, seduce, abduct, carry off. To dispel, remove, drive off. To ruin, undo the wisdom. All related to making you illa, a carrier. To eclipse, cover, envelope, conceal. Cognate with jinn, to conceal. To captivate, enrapture, ravish. You look ravishing. To surpass, excel. To deceive. To deceive, cognate with lu. Dib, dab, s, z, sh, you, zoo. I'm okay. But that would be the point, to splinter our mind. But the true purpose would be depopulation. To hurt, injure, kill. To steal, to break, destroy. Or stealing, removing, destroying. Cognate with tar, from Ishtar, the pit of destruction. Ishtar was used to contain the son of Sin, Shamash, cognate with sinner and with Ashur, used for surpassing and excelling the mother goddess. And to confirm, mush, to cleave, divide, break into pieces. The mother goddess was split asunder. Why? To steal, rob, plunder. And if I were that way inclined, I could create an Enuma Elish from the word mush, simply because all the components are there. But mush is the same forwards as back, as if Sumerian cuneiform wasn't confusing enough to begin with. The letter M is interchangeable with S, and the S is exchangeable with U. Therefore they are all interchangeable and synonymous. Mush is alternatively sum or shush. And again the other possibilities would be umu or uzu, ushu, usu. And they are cognate. Uzu is skill or strength. Umu, is old woman, nurse, wise or skillful teacher. They are both akin to zu. Even akin means make into, and I literally could go on forever, and that would be the point. To overthrow, to deceive the mind. Mush cognate with zus, to overthrow, to throw down, to go down, to set, become dark, be overcast, said of the sun, to cover, reduplicated as Zu, the hand of God, wrong God, to cover with Zu, reduplicated as Shu, Shu, go away, alternatively mush. This reminds me of Azazel being bound by hand and foot when being cast into the prison Du-Del, where it is mentioned that the light of day must not touch his face. This would be similar to those being cast into the outer darkness. They too are bound hand and foot, cast into a prison where the light may not touch their face. But it was Metatron, Enoch, who cast out Azazel, who threw Azazel down, to go down, to be set, to become dark, to be overcast, said of the sun, meaning to cover Azazel. And the previous priestly titles are related to being bound to Lord Zu. Shin, S, Zu, the three flames. Mush, Mi, and Zu are cognate, and also cognate with meat from Metatron. And don't get me started on Azazel, because the vowels were not present. Uzuzel, the god Zuzu. S interchangeable with M, the god Mu. And of course the meat from Metatron. The negative Mi added to Mi Melech Elohim. To throw, cast, scatter. To build, erect. Meet, to measure. To establish, to observe, perceive. To fix in the earth. Remind me where the Anunnaki were fixed. In the heavens, of course, surrounding the earth. And their purpose is clear. The alternative me, the mirror of me. Not me, although I have potential. Me to kill, destroy, hurt, injure, to lessen, diminish, to change, alter, to transgress, violate, to disappear, be lost, to stray, go astray, to go, move. Zu, to know, understand, to die, perish. In biblical terms, here with Malak, Metatron, and Azazel, and the previous names referring to the sacrifices for sin, and those bound to sin. Here they are casting lots in relation to sacrifices, which would be the practice of belomancy. Shangu can mean the teeth of sacrifice. The lots were divided, and a teeth, meaning 1/10, of the people were sacrificed to Malak. Malak meaning king, angel, and messenger, cognate with Memitim and synonymous with Anunnaki. See the Malachi and their 43 variations for more details, especially those who align with Pazuzu, the Malak Hamashahid. The fact is, they all do. And, like it or not, it is Metatron, Enoch, who carries Azazel and Malak forward, and also the sacrifices and casting lots. Mushelu can mean the house or offspring or father of treachery, lies, and deceit, more commonly known as bright light shining. The correct term would be blinding. But there is no Elu in Sumerian. Elu is Ilah. But before I continue, Elu plus M are the 7 clay figurines, the Anunnaki, and also related to the bone chapel, but also recovering from their slumber. M means clay, cognate with Zu. M is the reflection of me. Elu is a high number, specifically 7, Elohim. But like I said, also to the bone chapel, as Elu means bone, and or brightness, brilliance, splendor, or like a particular person on a cross, to be hanging loosely, to be dangling, the bone chapel, and related to the cardinal number 7. Their names vary, but their number 7 does not. This is opposite to maki, to sit idly. Elu, yet another meaning, means to get up, to stand up. The Abzu is appeased by the lamentation rite, the watchers of the underworld, to be in a state of slumber, dormant, waiting and watching. Elu, to get up, to come out of sleep, or a state similar to sleep, stupor, trance, etc., to wake up. One could say a great awakening, to recover from unconsciousness, stupor, or disease, to become alert, vigilant, or careful, to jump in joy, joy cognate with evil. Here, joy and evil can't be told apart. Intense thirst and need for water. This would be the Pit-Pi ritual, anointing the statue of Pazuzu with water and spittle, used in order to wake up the king of the Anunnaki, within whom they dwell in slumber. The practitioner of which, the Asipu, who was a high person, a person of importance, with good social status, A person who is conspicuous in a gathering by some particular or peculiar physical characteristics, to be projecting out, to be attracting attention by being unusual, outstanding, to be striking, prominent, or conspicuous, who have a dual value system, to be arrogant while in favor of a person, but to be humble when humiliated. Stay not where you do not get respect. So Babylon became Assyrian. But there is no Elu in Sumerian. It must be Ilah. And yet again, these letters are interchangeable. If we focused on all these variations, we'd go fucking mad. Simply see it as a tree, expanding the devil. Illa, Ili, Il. Carrier, to lift, carry, to deliver, to bring, to endure, to support, to carry forward. Mushelu, to carry the deception forward, to deliver the house of deception, to awaken the watchers from their slumber. Shangu Makhkhu Mushelu. The warrior nest of sinners are bound to Lord Zu. They will deliver the house of deception, meaning they will endure and deliver this message. And deliver the message is equal to saying, awakening the messenger, their king, Ab-Zu, the father of this wisdom. In ancient times, Sumerian and Akkadian societies had a specific profession that dealt with rituals and the incantation text. The expert in this field was known as the Asipu, my nemesis. So do forgive me if I step on their toes. Ironically enough, the alternative word for Asipu is Mashmashu. It would appear that their toes have already been stepped upon.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow? Yo!
In Akkadian, Asipu or Mashmashu means exorcist, cognate with Sumerian to interfere, exorcism, conjure, and that would be why Tutu is the envoy of the gods. They would be the representatives of the gods. The cuneiform records of their practices as exorcistic law, or simply magic. So if you practice magic, you are playing with fire. The magic is rooted in demonology, as are the gods. The Babylonian tradition believed that the corpus of texts was of great antiquity, meaning Sumerian. The Babylonian script was bilingual with Sumerian, and was said to be authored by Enki-Ea, the god of wisdom and exorcism. The previous author was the female version of the male god Mushelu, the precursor to Enlil, aka Mul-mi-Sarah, the precursor of Ea and the original author, but the prototype of both is Lord Zu. God of wisdom, Zu means wisdom, cognate with sin, the great sin, and the information related to Asipu is connected to the umbel soup, the green pea soup. Zu, wisdom, refers to the Anunnaki oracle, the voice of wisdom, and blade, a weapon, and we are told Ea is the god of wisdom, meaning Zu, the ultimate sin, the ultimate weapon of the Anunnaki. We are told, but do we listen? The Enuma Elish served as a transfer, not from Ea to Marduk, but instead to Zus, to Shush, to Mush, to overthrow and conceal, cognate with to kill and plunder. So when we see Marduk chasing Anzu, it can refer to putting the bird to flight, which means releasing the demon. Zu, who stole the tablets of destiny, which are never retrieved. In fact, all the gods refuse, in fear of being cursed themselves. We are told Zu was cursed with bird form. Obviously, Marduk is now the cursed form, as they decided to make their god in their image, yet still identified with the curse of Zu, the wings. And by doing so, it took the role of Bel, quite rightly, because Bel means the enemy, lord or master. Their enemy is now their lord, master, and container, and that is why Marduk means bitter oppression. Quite simply because Zu, through the gift or trick of immortality, creates gods so that it can eat them. They, the practitioners, become part of Legion, and according to the narrative, they are slowly being consumed by it. I believe this is the reason why the scribes are affixed to raising the dead, in which Marduk revels, in a bid to save themselves, or their future selves. This would be how demons arise, ascend, and possibly a very good reason why the demons were put to flight, to save themselves. They are exorcising the demons. Forgive the term, but the conduit, the person possessed by demons, would be like a sort of Hogwarts for demons, as the exorcist drew out the demon by using the word Adapa, Awans, aka Ea Enki. Ea is used to draw out the demon and put them to flight, aligning with the curse of Zu, the bird form. You know them as angels. I know them as demons. This method is opposite to the Catholic exorcist, who do indeed draw their knowledge from the Asipu rituals, meaning their method has been reversed, but it's the same forwards as back, as above, so below. Now we can't tell the difference, but in the beginning we couldn't tell the difference either. This would be the sign of a black mass, where everything has been reversed. It should sound familiar because we are in a black mass. It is happening again. One of the best examples would be the word Asipu, alternatively Ashibu. For example, the Asipu are addicted to the cat, which is the meaning of cat-holic exorcist. In the description of the video, I have added the work I completed on the exorcism rituals, but here and now I give you the translation of Asipu. In Turkish, ash means soup. This is bad, really bad. It is a thick green soup, and is indeed related to the Sumerian Akkadian ash, the wolf curse, Hannibalism, the partakers of the umbel soup, which continues through the worship of Zeus Laocoon, and also Saint Christopher, the Hannibal dogman of Canaan. And that will be the reason we see the dogman. It is a metaphor for those cursed by the wolf, the biblical ash. The words of Malachi, the Memetim, the Anunnaki, to the church fathers, not to the people, but to the church fathers. Do not change my word. After which they created the New Testament, and all the words that were meant for them were cast upon the people. Another example of a black mass. Because the wrath of God, the Old Testament, was directed at the church fathers. In Hebrew, ash means moth, Aish or ash. The constellation is perhaps the Great Bear, aka Orion, aka Marduk. The meaning of Aish is alive, here possibly meaning awakening the moth, or awakening the dead from their slumber, in conjunction with the previous name, Mushelu, awakening the seven to kill and plunder. Yes, it would be the biblical beast. Psalm 39 chillingly describes God as a moth, devouring all that a person has come to treasure. For example, life, which would be the image we see of the dragon sitting upon its treasure. The demons are said to crave human form. In Sanskrit, Ashi is cognate with Zu, a sword, a knife used for killing animals, the sacrificial knife, the name of a river, breathe, the act of eating food, an act of bestowing a blessing upon others, but this blessing in line with prayer, desire, and wish, meaning curse, of the wolf. If only it was, but the wish and desire, it's not for you, it is concerning you. Similar to the Fenris wolf and the Midgard serpent, who are one, and the meaning of sin, tooth. Another meaning of Ashi is the serpent's fang, one of the 8 chief medicaments, the substances used to heal, also related to a kind of venom, cognate with a blessing or benediction. Even benediction relates to this. Ben is derived from Ban, Mul Ban, the bow star from heaven, the origin of Anzu. Addiction means taking orders from, Mul Ban. This would be the red banner or robe you see almost everywhere in religion. The meanings continue: to lie or sleep upon, to pass the night in sleep, to pray for in line with curse and wolf, to wish upon a star, meaning God, of the fallen variety, of course, to dwell, live, inhabit. Like I said, the treasure of the dragon is life, and the gate appears to be the person. They live like gods, but die as men. Ashi is cognate with Sumerian and Akkadian ash, wish, desire, wolf, curse, spider, and also one, unique, alone, referring to Zu, who is Anunnaki yet not Anunnaki. They are the flies, and it is the spider. This is a benediction, a prayer, a blessing in disguise. The Black Mass is Asipu becoming Ashibu, as B and P are interchangeable, and they are indeed related. Poo, pus, purulent matter, mucus, the gum of the eye, applied to an extremely rotten cloth. Mul Ban, a cloth dyed red with blood, or applied to wood, the totem, to spoil or damage exceedingly, to make pure, cleanse, purify, reminds me of Mr. Glass and the Beast, to refine, to clean from chaff, winnow. That's not good either, because malak refers to removing the wheat from the chaff, and similar to malak, to expiate, to atone for transgressions of those in slumber, to discern and discriminate, to think out, to devise, invent, to become clear or pure, purifying, cleansing, refining, for example, awakening Pazuzu. See the Pit-P rituals and the Makhkhu tablet. This is the atonement for sins, Lord Zu and his legion. Asipu or Ashibu, Bu, chief attendant. Bu, usually bow, a word used to frighten children. When people are possessed, they stink. Bu, a disagreeable smell, odor, or foul smell. Ana, buana, to sink, to smell, to give a foul smell, to suspect the presence of the demon. And here we have it. Bu, not to get rid of, to continue to entertain the feelings of. Zuab Ab Zu, for whom the lamentation rite was created. I give you some of the possible meanings of Asipu or Ashibu. The serpent's fangs, the prayer, blessing or benediction used to spoil or damage exceedingly. The sword of discrimination equal to the weapon of death. A prayer, wish or desire, the curse to become pure. Ascension, the curse of death. To devise a kind of venom. To devise sin, tooth, the serpent's fangs. Used to deliver poison. To suspect the presence and entertain the feelings of the serpent's fangs. The sword of discrimination, or to use a blade to frighten children, an illusion created by the magician. The Mashmashu, the Anunnaki charmer, meaning tempter, seducer. In Akkadian, Mashu means twins, Gemini, the depiction of which would have been two lions, or cheetahs entwined as one. This would be Ni, the Enini, meaning they, them. Pazuzu was the protector over children, protection from Lamash II, who stole children in the night, which identifies a scapegoat rite, and the purpose, the trigger, would be Ni, Malam, fear, mentioned as a substance worn by the Anunnaki. In connection with these demons, we are told, its radiance, its Ni, Malam, fear, immense, its claws drip with bile, and causes tears in all lands. And I have found it is in line with the Sanskrit Ni, lead to, cause to, infinitive, possibly immortality, bend, incline, pour out or in, the offering, to offer, sacrifice, perform, accomplish. Mashu, the twins, may also be Enki and Enlil, or possibly Shamash, who dwells within Ishtar, the children of Zu. Know thy enemy. Translation: Bel Zu. Alternatively, the Lord or God of wisdom. What kind of wisdom? We've already mentioned that. Or perhaps the twins are Mushelu, who also has a female version aligning with Ishtar. Ishtar meaning the pit of destruction. But regardless of interpretation, together they form the royal gods, one of which is the pit to the underworld, and the other a devoted curse thereof, as seen more clearly within Shukwamuna and Shumalaya, who, similar to Pazuzu, were a cursed protection upon the armor, cursing anyone who destroyed it, and again worn by the ancient kings and queens. This would be a curse in art form, which would be the face of the deep, worn by the Caesars of Rome, and the word Caesar in line with deceiver. Lu, light, bright, shining, treachery, lies, deceit. They are the gatekeepers, aligned with Jinn, meaning to conceal, used to conceal their true natures. We are blinded by the light. The Jinn, the gatekeepers, were employed by the nobility to protect the gateway entrance to the palace prison of the Anunnaki. Ishtar, the pit of destruction, the queen of heaven, of An, Sumerian heaven, the underworld. I ask you, why were the Anunnaki locked in a palace prison? And why was a demon created to release them? Why do the so-called royals mirror this existence? My answer would be due to the curse of abundance, the American dream, the ramifications of greed. In Egypt, Mashu would be the gods of the horizon, the gate of Ra and Apep, previously known as Shesmu, who align with the lion of Babylon. That would be the teeth of sin, W in Hebrew, M in Sumerian, a twin-peaked mountain, described by poets as both the seat of the gods and the underworld, thereby defining an Ishtar. It is the gate of God, of the gods once demons. This ritual act, in which an exorcist, the Asipu or Mashmashu, one who casts out demonic powers, they participated and symbolized the ridding of the community of the powers of chaos. Note, Mamu is chaos personified. Symbolized simply means suggested, interpreted as, meaning thought to be. The truth is, they openly invoked Pazuzu, using the power of the Logos, chaos, Mamu. Mamu also means art, thou who art in heaven. They opened the gate with animal sacrifices, and much worse. If ever there was an example of misinterpretation, this would be it. In Sumerian Akkadian, Mash, the interest on a loan, rent, profit, produce, yield of a field. Pazuzu was the god of the battlefield, and therefore the god of fertility. But alternatively, at the same time, Mash, a kid, a child, cognate with he-goat. Animals were not the only things sacrificed. I believe these people misinterpreted the text, or possibly much more sinisterly. The goat mirrors that which happens in the shadows. So when we hear of a goat sacrifice, one should also hear the former. They are synonymous. Another alternative, but again related, extispicy, divination based on the entrails of a sacrificed animal, a sacrificial animal to scrutinize, inspect. And again, one should also hear the former. Now the letters Z, S, Sh, U, or Lu, Dib, or Dab are all interchangeable with M, giving us all the components for mush. But as the aforementioned mush was related to inspecting the offering, we will use Shu or simply Zu, meaning hand, share, portion, bundle, strength, control, to pour, as the offering was served with a libation, a magic drink of spittle and water, ambrosia, the food of the gods. What would you expect from disgusting demons? It is also a ritual for the Royal Marines. I ask why. But I know why. It was used to transfer the power and awaken the statue of Pazuzu, the god of the battlefield. Their lord, Pazuzu, can mean golden tablet, or gold leaf, or the golden cup, which would be the golden cup used to invoke Pazuzu, the golden chalice. Alternatively, sweet tablet or sweet leaf, conceivably due to the offerings, for example the sweet child, the gold, their best wine and food stock. For the gods, of course, why else? And if they did not, the spirits of disease would awaken. This, of course, mirrors what is happening today. These priests were not and are not good men, and by this time in history, I'm quite sure that they did not understand the fire they were playing with. Pazuzu, the god of the dead, Pazuzu, the golden tablet, or gold leaf. In Greece, golden tablets is the collective name of a more or less coherent group of around 30 Greek texts, written on gold leaf, on very thin and small gold foil, placed upon the body of the deceased. Similar to paying the boatman, it is an offering for the spirits of the dead. They come from all over the Greek world, between 500 BC and 200 AD, with a peak in Hellenistic times, obviously derived from the priests of Bel Marduk. So that would be gold upon the face of the dead from the deep. Zuzu, gold, is alternatively mumu, to ignite the roars and screams of exorcism. In Sanskrit, mumu means face, the golden face of the deep, alternatively the face of Lord Zu. As mentioned, S is interchangeable with M, so the messenger Zuzu, who is the original oracle, the head, cognate with voice of the deep. Zuzu is a part of the body, specifically the stomach. In line with Zu, sin, meaning to swallow. Zu means hand. Igigi is the eye of the Watcher, the builders of the first and second temple, soon to be thrice great. And there are many aspects of Marduk's 50 titles which refer to body parts, almost as if it, their god, has been dissected. And metaphorically speaking, we are being fed, each part, piece by piece. Mushelu is a hybrid creature, is it not? A hybrid dragon, positioned at the feet of the supreme god of Babylon, Marduk. And if we combine Mamu and Zuzu and the worship of Mashmashu, we have Mushelu. Shush, it's a secret. Mashmashu meaning the twin goats, or the twinned children from the house of the dead, aligning perfectly with the new Exorcist movie. Sorry, I mean documentary.